I want to tell you about my first ever psychedelic experience. It was completely unplanned and unexpected, and it happened in the beautiful country of Laos during a backpacking tour of Southeast Asia. Backpacking through Laos was an adventure of its own, a journey that eventually led me to a pivotal moment in my life. It was during my travels here that I embarked on my first ever psychedelic experience. The memories of exploring Laos serve as a vivid backdrop to the transformative experience that awaited me. Walking down a street in Van Vieng, dotted with cafes and bars, accompanied by my 3 travel buddies, we were fully immersed in the vibrant atmosphere of our backpacking adventure as we soaked in the sights and sounds of the foreign land. As we strolled along, a voice with an unmistakable English accent called out from outside a pizza place, inviting us to try a happy shake, the magic mushroom drinks we'd heard so much about in Thailand. It was a peculiar offer that hung in the air for a moment. We exchanged glances, our curiosity piqued. We had already enjoyed a few beers and were in high spirits, but this was an entirely different proposition. Initially, we politely declined the offer, hesitant about venturing into the unknown. But then a spark of intrigue kindled among us. Or, shall we try it? My friend proposed with a mischievous grin. That single question set in motion a series of events that would forever alter the course of our journey. Prior to that, my encounters with altered states had been limited to cannabis and MDMA. I was far from being an expert on psychedelics. In fact, I had no idea what a psychedelic experience entailed. The whole thing was spontaneous, a spur-of-the-moment decision that completely changed my understanding of the human experience. We found ourselves inside the quaint pizza joint, sipping on our shakes. What followed was an intense and vivid journey that took me completely by surprise. The moment the effects began to weave their way into my consciousness, I realized that I could never have imagined how profoundly my perspective of the world could change. The ordinary world around me seemed to morph and twist, revealing hidden dimensions that had previously eluded my senses. The visuals were something else. Patterns danced across everything, and my friends' faces became these intriguing distortions, like characters from a dream world. But as the night grew deeper, so did our trip. I found myself traversing a landscape of kaleidoscopic colors, intricate patterns, and surreal visions that danced before my eyes like intricate dreamscapes painted on the canvas of reality. And it wasn't just a visual, hallucinatory experience. It was as if the very fabric of reality and my consciousness was being reshaped, stretched, and molded into a new form that defied the limitations of my previous understanding. The waiter, the English guy who had served us the psychedelic shakes, suddenly reappeared in front of us. He had a friendly smile on his face and told us that his shift was ending, so we needed to settle the bill before he left. This simple task, however, turned into a bizarre experience as my fingers seemed to multiply and distort while I tried to take money out of my wallet. The concept of money had lost all meaning, so in a state of confusion, I handed him a wad of notes. He carefully counted it, confirming that it was the correct amount. In that moment, I just had to trust him. As time passed and our trip became more intense, the restaurant took on a surreal quality. The waiter left and we were left with the restaurant owners, a local couple and their dog. We couldn't really communicate with words due to the language barrier, but there was an unspoken understanding between us. Their dog seemed to be on the same wavelength as us, mirroring our heightened awareness. Outside, the world felt distant and unfamiliar. There was a curfew in the town, and all bars and restaurants were supposed to close at 11 p.m., but the effect of the mushrooms had made us feel disoriented and incapable of navigating the streets. The restaurant owner sensed our state and drew the curtains closed at the front of the restaurant, creating a kind of shelter for us. We could hear the dog getting agitated at some people outside, and in our altered state, we worried that it might be the police enforcing the curfew. But our fears were unfounded as the people soon moved along. We felt like we were in a safe bubble inside the restaurant, shielded from the outside world. Our perceptions were so distorted that we didn't trust ourselves to venture out into the unknown. So we sat there, waiting for the effects to subside and for a sense of normalcy to return. It was a mix of anxiety and anticipation, not knowing exactly how much longer we had to ride out this altered state of mind. Eventually, some sense of normality returned, allowing us to navigate our way back to the hotel. Yet even in the comfort of our surroundings, our grasp on reality remained profoundly altered. One prevailing aspect of this altered state was the utter dissolution of our understanding of time. Past and future seemed to blur into haziness, leaving only the immediate present to hold any significance. Minutes and hours no longer held their conventional weight. The notion of yesterday or tomorrow held no meaning. We were suspended in the eternal now, unburdened by the constraints of linear time and liberated to exist solely in the realm of the current moment. In the peculiar dance of time dilation, my mind delved into the realm of profound contemplation. I found myself pondering the very essence of life itself. Questions that had previously remained dormant within me now rose to the surface, demanding attention. What is the nature of reality? What is the purpose of our journey through this world? These thoughts took on a vivid life of their own, dancing in the shadows of my altered consciousness. I felt both intimately connected to the universe and acutely aware of my insignificance within its vast expanse. It was a profound encounter with the deeper layers of reality, a brief exploration into the realms of meaning and purpose that lie just beyond our ordinary perception. The next morning, as the sun rose, I reflected on what I had learned. That experience was like a key that unlocked dimensions of consciousness I had never even imagined. It was a transformative moment in my life, revealing the vastness of human perception and the beautiful mystery of the human experience.